are very happy to have the chance to do the interview here. And we would like to know, because we know you are very busy, you have been always worked very hard on the education of the other tap. Can you talk about the attitude about the education? So why you focus on education so much?
Well, let's see. I took dancing as a kid, as a little kid, and I enjoyed it. Dancing school for me was a very big part of my development as a child. The amount of time that I spent with my dancing friends was a lot of time in my young days. So I learned a lot. I think I learned a lot about people, about socializing. I overcame a lot of my own personal shyness and things like that. So I understood from a young age that dancing, whether it was tap or ballet or jazz or any style, was very important to the development of oneself. So I sort of came into it with that understanding. So tap dancing was almost the gimmick. Through dancing, you can help to strengthen the person, the core of the person. So that was always very clear for me. I understood that in my own life, and I learned that very quickly in my young students. So the focus around the education and the kinds of things that I did in the classroom, which is very important from the very beginning. And then I was fortunate to meet a wonderful group of master artists, artists that I had only read about. I never thought I would meet the Nicholas Brothers or meet Honey Coles and Charlie Atkins. Jimmy Sly, I had only heard about him, and the day I met him, I was thrilled to meet these people who shared so much information with me. And then I realized there's a lot of information. Aside from steps, brushes, shuffles, cramp rolls, and riffs, there's a lot of other information. And as I started to gather that information from people that I respected or people that I thought were important to me, I found it necessary to share that, particularly with younger dancers who didn't or perhaps wouldn't ever get the chance to have experienced some of those people. So I tried to convey stories, stories of importance for us as dancers. They were important to me, and I'm sure that they were important to my students. So I don't know, education has always been the core of the work for me. Yeah, I really enjoy teaching, more so than performing. The performing is a way of sharing with people the joy of the dance. That's, for me, it's performance is to share the joy. But my passion really is in the classroom. I really enjoy teaching.
So, you said because dancing intense will affect personality. But if it is adult who just want to start learn tap dancing, maybe in their 20s or 30s.
Well, I think it gives one a very different sense of themselves. Different meaning that perhaps it will pull out of you strengths that you never even knew that you had. When you're in tap class, and you know yourself in tap class, if you do something correctly, you feel good. It's a good feeling to be able to do it correctly. You walk out of that class at the end of having a lesson that you feel yourself becoming better at. It's powerful. It's just powerful to one's own self, which you feel like, yes! And you carry that with you out into the world. That manifests itself in every other aspect of your being. So when I see these little kids, like I had a little one yesterday in my class, mostly adults, young girl, she must have been 8 years old or now. I kept watching her. I was so proud of her. Everybody did well in the class, but this little one, fantastic. She didn't have it perfect, but she really was on top of the combination. And she knew it well enough to take it home to practice. And you should have seen the look on her face, on her own face. She knew she had just accomplished something that was wonderful, because all of those people were over 30 years old. She was 8, and she was able to do it. And when she walked out of there yesterday, she was different. She was a different person. That one experience, I'm guaranteed, because it gives you just a little bit more pride about yourself and confidence about yourself. And I know she was happy with herself when she left.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday, I met a girl after your class, and she's very into tap dance. So we have a talk, and she wants to be a tap dancer in the future. But her mother worried about it because in this society, parents always hope their children to have a regular way, like high school, college. But it happens in Taiwan too. So to face such parents, what would you say to convince them?
Well, I have said to parents and children alike, young dancers, that education is primary. That's not second, that's first. Tap dance is a part of, just a part of one's education. But I think that today, to survive in this world, we need a comprehensive education. I tell my students all the time, the rent is due on the first of the month. Now that don't change for anybody. So you have to develop a way that you are going to contribute to this world and make enough income to take care of yourself. You have to figure that out first. So I think that it's important for everybody to think about how they want to contribute as a person to society in their life, and then go about doing that. And tap dancing can be a part of that. And whether it's a big part or a small part depends on you. But I think that it's important for you to go to school, to get a college education. Is absolutely imperative. I mean, I have a master's degree in education, and I think that's the reason why I have been so successful as a dancer, because I was very clear about a certain set of skills that I had to take care of myself in the world, or to offer to the world. I was a social worker for a long time, and I don't think that what I'm doing as a tap dancer is so much different than what I was doing as a social worker. I am still working with people and the development of people, whether it's the development of them through dance, or the development of them through therapy, or through other interactions with people. I'm a people person, and I use my person to communicate with people. And right now it happens to be with tap dance. But I think that it's important for people to define who they are as a person, where their strengths are. You know, I have students that are biochemists, and engineers, and architects, and doctors, and lawyers, and they're very successful tap dancers as well. So you decide, tap dancing is a part of who I am. I have many facets to my person. Tap dancing is a part of it, and it's a fun part. It happens to be a part of my existence that I enjoy tremendously. But it's only a part of. There's many, many facets. So I think that it's important that kids understand that about themselves, and that they become well-rounded in their person. Most of the kids now are choosing their colleges depending on where they can tap dance. Like, a lot of people call me and say, well, I might come to Boston. Just that Boston has a lot of schools, Boston University, Harvard, MIT, Northeastern, Brandeis. So there's lots of choices in Boston. The Boston Conservatory. So a lot of students who get to college make their choices for areas that will allow them to continue to dance along, and that's happening a lot in this generation. I don't worry about this generation. They're pretty smart. They're smart kids, and the world is such that everybody knows you have got to have a good education. Period. You've got to. In fact, even to teach dance at a university, you have to have a degree. So if you want a career in teaching dance, and on the secondary level, you can't even be considered unless you have a degree.
I saw an article written about you, and you say every tap dancers have to be preparing anytime. When the trend of the word try to turn left, and we are ready to turn right.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So do you think, how do you think the trend of the word now in nowadays?
Well, I don't know if I can define it as sort of trends. I think that there has been a lot of work done in the dance community, particularly the tap dance community. I say the dance community because, as you can see on television, there's a lot of dance. So I think that all areas of dance have been working very hard to try and share the joy, so to speak. Tap dancing in particular, I think, has made a lot of progress. And I am very optimistic about the future because it's in the hands of these educated dancers. These young dancers are coming to the table with their degrees in hand. They not only can tap dance well, they are smart. They have been educated. Chloe Arnold, degree from Columbia. She got her education together, and now she's producing many events and training young dancers, and such a role model for the young dancers that are coming up. So that's one example. Many of the dancers that are out here, they really are prepared. They're coming into the dance arena with degrees in hand, with good minds, and they're sophisticated intellectually, so they collaborate well. And it's great because I think that we're going to see very positive results of that effort.
So what will the world become if everyone can tap dance? What do you think?
I think it would be a wonderful place. I just think that everybody ought to know at least a time step. Yeah, I think you know how it feels to tap dance. It makes you laugh inside. It tickles you, your spirit. It makes you feel good. I think everybody wants to tap anyway. Secret. So the first thing we have to do is read the book, and then we have to start tapping. It's such an art form. The art is reflected in many cultures. If you have a